Cardmarket people, you're back with me, Hot Choc, and today I've got another top 6 for you. So Battle Styles and Chilling Reign have both reintroduced alternate arts in sets. Now we obviously always get some from like blisters and tins, but now they're back in our sets and some of these are gorgeous. So I thought, what a better time than to have a look at the top 6 alternate arts that we've ever had. Let's have a look. So at number 6 we have Hex Maniac Full Art. Now back in the day when this was in standard, this card was feared. If your opponent ended the turn with a Hex Maniac, that means you couldn't use abilities for the rest of your turn. And let me tell you, sometimes that just shuts decks down, especially with VS Seeker being when you can just keep reusing it over and over and over again. But it's not only on this list because it's a super playable card, which is also banned in expanded by the way. But I love the color purple. You know me, I love dark colors, especially purple, and this Hex Maniac just looks absolutely amazing. I love the way her eyes are like, you know what I mean? She's got the Pokeball there and the hair's looking all crazy. You can see her nails coming through. She looks really scary. Like, let's not beat around the bush about it. And that's why this is at my number 6, because the look of the card matches how scary it was. And you really didn't want to see it. Yeah, you might not have seen this Hex Maniac. That's because it was in the Best of XY box, which came out super late. And there were some crackers in that box. And there might be some more in our next 5. So coming in at our number 5 slot, we have the incredible looking Zygarde EX alternate art from the Best of XY box. This card looks absolutely heavenly and majestic. I love everything about this card. It just seems to suit this ultimate form Zygarde so much, because in case you don't know, you have the 1% Zygarde, 50% Zygarde, and then you have the full complete 100% Zygarde. I just love the way I imagine, like, once you've assembled all the 1% Zygardes and poof, then this Zygarde EX comes down from the heavens like, I am now ready take some prize cards. But so this card just looks insane. I love the top down perspective. I love the way the eyes are glowing. It's just an insane majestic looking card, and I wish we could have played with this in standard for a lot more, because this card rocks. Not only does it look the best, but this was an extremely playable card as well when partnered up with this Jirachi EX, which actually could have been in this video as well. It's a very, very scary deck. So yeah, at number 5 we have Zygarde EX. Coming in at our number 4, we have Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX alternate art from Battle Styles. We knew this was going to have to be in list. This was probably the first alternate art in Battle Styles where everyone saw and thought, wow, this is a good looking card. Love the way like just coming through like in some sort of riverbed, just like boom. You've got like Aracudas flying about. We've got Clobberpuss knocking about as well. We know this Rapid Strike Urshifu is here for business. I love the sort of cartoony anime kind of art style. It just makes him look so intimidating, and that matches Urshifu VMAX perfectly, because we all know how good Gale Thrust is, which for 1 energy does 150 damage if you moved around the active this turn. And you've also got G-Max Rapid Flow, which is what I imagine he's probably doing in this attack here, which is 120 snipe 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So absolutely insane card. Rapid was the birth of the Rapid Strike archetype, and we all know how good that is. And that is why Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX is in this list. Coming in at number 3, we have, some people might think I've ranked this a little bit low, but we have the alternate art Galleria multress from Chilling Reign. Now this card is gnarly. If you want to see my reaction to actually packing one of these, make sure you go check out my Chilling Reign box opening, because I actually own one of these and it's pretty gnarly. But this card just looks so, let's go with intimidating, menacing as well. I just love that sort of black with that deep dark red and pink contrast going up and down the body. Just looks so symmetrical. I love this where you got the sort of clouds and the moon in the background. Reminds you of like old English style medieval paintings from back in the day that you sort of see in museums and that. But not only that, I love the way all the forests had like these red eyes. Almost look like loads of Zarudes, to be honest with you, but it can't be them. But either way, so we just think that forest is very menacing. You don't really want to go walking in there on a cold, dark, windy day. And then imagine actually going through that forest and you look up and then you've got that multress bearing down on you. That strikes me as a very scary situation. You want to that you don't want to be in, I should say. But not only that, it's a super playable card as well. You know I love me playable cards. This goes straight into your Urshifu VMAX deck with that Dire Flame Wings ability, I should say, that lets you get a dark energy from the discard pile and attach it to this Pokemon. So that's really good in combination of energy switches, letting you get to that Dread End a lot faster. And it's also not a bad attacker with its Aura Burn attack, which for 2 Dark 1 colors does 190 and does 30 damage to itself. So a nice little backup attacker in tough scenarios. And that's why it is my number 3 pick. Moltres V. Coming in at number 2, we have another one from that Best of XY box. We have the alternate art N. Now, I wish we could have played with these in standard for a lot longer. This card looks absolutely amazing. I think this one looks better than the old one. And the old one was a very nice looking full art too. But this N, very similar to the Zygarde, similar art style, right? Where the Zygarde sort of maybe coming downwards a bit more. And is sort of in front of me, just like, hold my hand, take my hand, and we'll go on a magic journey. Nice sort of song that, weren't it? But yeah, if you ever played the black and white games, you know there's a scene where you can go in a Ferris wheel with N, and he sort of tells you he's all part of Team Plasma. And this sort of reminds me of that scene, but it also looks like in the background we're sort of in that Victory Road-esque big castle thing, you know, N's castle, so we could be there as well. But it's just a very nice full art supporter card, isn't it? It might be one of the best looking ones, yeah. Again, you've got the contrast of that horizon with N's green hair, and you've got that hat. It's just a very nice looking card in general, really. But no! Only that, it is a fantastic ultra playable card from when it's first got printed back in Next Destinies. We all know what N should do by now, but in case you don't, both players shuffle their hand into their deck and then they draw 1 card for each prize card they have remaining. This was really good in the early game, essentially letting you shuffle in and draw 5 or 6, but also really good if your opponent's got off to a really hot start. You can put their hand size down to like 1 or 2 and hopefully they struggle to draw out of it. And that's why it's my number 2 pick, N. But coming in at number 1, I guarantee none of you saw this one coming. Jirachi alternate art from the Best of XY box again. I tell you, that Best of XY box had some absolutely killer looking cards in it. And this is my favourite alternate art of all time. I adore Jirachi. Hold on. I've even got one here just chilling with me. Look at that little, oh, how cute little Jirachi is. Oh, so maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased, having this be my favourite alternate art. But again, you know me, I love colours. I love purples, I love blues, and I love playable cards. This Jirachi has a lot of blue and purple. Very nice. But it's also got some colourful stars that are just, you know, Jirachi's just like pew, throwing around the place. That's pretty cool. Not only that, but on TCGO, it sort of has this holographic effect where it sort of like just shines and looks really cool. And I just love the way it captures Jirachi's personality. Just sort of this sort of super happy persona where it's just like, hey, I'm here to help, have some happiness, have some stars. But let me tell you, if your opponent was playing this Jirachi, it wasn't giving you happiness. So you had this attack with the Stardust, which for 1 energy did 10 damage. It would discard a special energy from your opponent's active, and if it did, it became immune to damage on your opponent's next turn. This actually won me a game. Last turn of time, my opponent was going to win. They had 1 prize card left. I just got out my Jirachi Stardust. They didn't have Lysandre to get around it, and I won. So yeah, this Jirachi, I got fond memories with it. One of my favourite Pokemon. Looks really colourful. It had to be my number 1, didn't it, really? Of course it did. But thank you for watching. As always, if you made it this far, leave the comment Jirachi so I know you're a real one. Make sure you stick around the Cardmarket channel. We've got all sorts going on. Pack openings, collection help, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.